Hey everyone, my name's Danny. If you are new here, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and watching another small business vlog. Today I am going to be pouring some wholesale private label candles with you. I am also going to be working on some fall candle bundles with some flush packaging boxes. This is my first order with flush, so you'll see my first kind of impressions on the product and how I put together the boxes. And I am also getting a pretty big shipping supply delivery. I'll go through that with you guys and show you what I got, as well as my first impressions and sniff tests of some new Fragrance to You oils. Some of their fall and holiday oils were sent to me and I am so excited to share them with you. So let's hop on in. So yesterday I finished pouring some of these candles over here, and what I have out is the fall scents. I have been realizing that I really wasn't consistent in the quantities that I was making. If you're new here, I will very openly tell you guys my mistakes. I'm not trying to pretend like I am perfect. I'm certainly not a perfect person, certainly not a perfect candle maker. We all make mistakes. Not that this is like a huge mistake or anything. It's just, I don't know. I think like when I first started my business, I would like picture like other business owners doing everything so efficiently, so perfectly, by the book as far as business decisions and things go. Kind of like a do as I say, not as I do situation sometimes over here with me, where I didn't order enough fragrance oil and labels for certain scents because I just thought they weren't gonna be as popular. And then I did get a kind of influx at the same time of like interests in pre-orders from wholesale clients, which are larger quantities of these scents. And the scents that I thought weren't going to be like as popular and didn't make as much and order as much supplies of, they were interested in those. Some of them were. So to make sure I had enough for them, I had to order more fragrance oils, but in the meantime, I didn't have any more to make more. So then I would just move on to the next scent. So I, have way more of some scent than the other scents. So this yesterday was me catching up, at least with like the amount of labels and oils I have. I was trying to like kind of match that. So I had like 6 more Haunted Hayride labels over there. And I was like, let's make 6 more candles for those labels, right? Like let's make as many as I can with the supplies that I have right now while I'm still preparing for launch. I am still waiting for photos back from the photographer. I am still nowhere near ready because I need my shipping supplies, which is supposed to arrive today. I need to prepare the shipping supplies because when there is a launch and there's a big amount of orders all at once, I found it's very helpful for me so I don't get overwhelmed to have everything like ready. So like cardboard corrugate that I wrap my candles in instead of bubble wrap is already cut into pre-cut like pieces, so I don't have to sit there with the roll. It just like pushes back the amount of time taken to get those orders packed and out, and especially since it's still warm out, it's still like summer temperatures here, and I plan to launch in August still. I definitely want to get orders out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the latest, but usually just Monday or Tuesday, depending on locations of where those packages are going to. Yeah, I just like to have everything ready, and it's going to take like probably this week is going to be like another prep week for it for me. So yeah, I have like random amounts of finishing candles, like getting ready for the launch. Unfortunately, this double pour didn't go as well as the last video where I had so many smooth tops. This pour, there's a lot of bumps, a lot of bubbles, a lot of fixing with the heat gun I have to do, which is a bummer because it definitely like takes more time and kind of sets me back a little bit. But it happens. Temperatures aren't always perfect. Can't always get so lucky. Over here, I have like a whole table of Humble Harvest. And I have, Haunted Hayride and Cozy Season over here. So I'm going to snip some of these wicks. And I honestly really need to smooth tops right now, but I don't think that's very interesting for you to watch me do. So to be a little more interesting, I'm going to put them to the side. I'm going to do that later with headphones on while watching a show or something. And then I will do something else here with you. So I'll just snip these and then we'll get to it. Oh man, of course, that top was perfect. Literally didn't even need to be smoothed, but the wick was not in the center, so I had to drag it anyway. Oh, man. This one too. It's like kind of off, but it bothers me enough where I'm gonna pull it. This blend smells so good. It's like pumpkin donuts and like toasted pumpkin, a little bit of spice, a little bit of smoke, but I love a cinnamon scented candle all year round, honestly. Like I would have a cinnamon scented candle burning in my kitchen all year round. It's just so cozy, even in summer. This is definitely way too many candles for this sheet, so I have to be very careful. It is, I'm changing my mind. Not good. I don't feel safe doing that because I can feel it like bending. Problem is like I'm really out of counter space here. I'll just put these somewhere else. I don't know. I really do enjoy sharing my true unedited thoughts. I mean, technically this is an edited video and I edit stuff out, but you guys hear a lot of the unfiltered moments that like I'm figuring it out as I go, like on camera. Since I did write Haunted Hayride, I'll just keep these here and then I'll just remind myself that these are cozy season. Do you ever get paranoid that you're gonna like lose your sense of smell? Like, and then the next day you're not gonna know which is which. So I always write like stuff down, or Post-its are like everywhere. And I'll just write cozy season for this tray. Stick that on there so I know what's up. This is All Hallows Eve. Actually, let me label that one too really quick. And then I'm gonna clean this surface off, which always gets covered in wax. Who would have thought? This is like a plant mister, but I love the way it looked, so I put rubbing alcohol in it, and it's nice. It's like a fine mist. It helps me like not use as much as I would if I was just like dumping it out. I don't think this alone is gonna cut it. I think I might need a little Goo Gone because what I want to do is like a finishing touch kind of thing, and I do not want wax on any of these products right now. So I'm just gonna scrape the big pieces off. And Goo Gone usually does a pretty good job. This really gets every little thing off so easily, but then I feel like it leaves an oily residue that when you're using like paper products, you don't want that on. I have sprayed this too close to candles that were labeled before, and it has ruined labels, so just be careful if you use Goo Gone. It also smells horrible. I feel like it's so toxic. If anyone else has a suggestion as an alternative to Goo Gone for getting wax off surfaces besides a heat gun, because sometimes that just, it takes too long, and this is just like way more efficient sometimes, but the smell is so bad. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's pretty bad. I feel like the rubbing alcohol after the Goo Gone just like removes a lot of that. Now it's gonna be all wrinkly. I just want to make sure there's no oil stains because these boxes are expensive. I ordered from Flush Packaging for the first time. I have ordered samples before, but I've never gone through with an order because I have looked at the cost of the shipping from California to New York, and it's pretty heavy, and that factors into the cost of goods for me. It should for you too. Your shipping for your supplies is part of your cost of goods. But these actually worked out. And the way that I'm gonna price them, I know, I'm gonna show you what it is. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you what it is. The pricing is actually more affordable for my customers to purchase one of these than it would be for 3 single candles. The way that I'm gonna like bundle it, it gives them a little discount, and it works out to where I am not like cutting myself super short as far as profits go. It's still good. So I'm going to put together some trio boxes. I got the retail 9-ounce straight-sided jar retail pack. It's not like the shipping boxes from Flush, and I'm gonna put together some of them in front of you. I started them last night and I want to make a couple more before I eat lunch. Here's what they look like. They have a little window. I'll show you a finished one. I'm gonna jazz it up a little bit more, but you can see all 3 candles in there. It looks really professional. The box is very sturdy. The way that they, and you'll see like when I put it together, the way that they design this, like they don't shift around in there. So I feel really confident to ship them without bubble wrap, with just like packing peanuts and boxes that give a bit of space. I think that's what I'm gonna do. You know, I guess you could wrap it in something. Maybe I'll do paper just to avoid any kind of like scuffs or anything like that. Yeah, I guess like you can get honeycomb paper. But I've talked to a couple of makers and they haven't had to use anything like that. They were able to use just like this box in another box with packing peanuts, and it's been fine. I'm probably gonna do a couple test runs. Sometimes I do like test drops with new shipping packaging, so maybe something like that. Or I can just feel it out and see how it feels or looks in the box and see if it has enough cushion so it doesn't break during transit. But yeah, this is my first time using any Flush products. My fall collection is 6 different scents, so I'm breaking this up into 2 different 3-packs. So kind of like a daytime, nighttime one, or like a classic fall versus like a spooky fall bundle. So the first thing I do when I assemble a box, and especially a Flush box like this that has so many different panels, is I just like fold it up. It makes it so much easier. It starts to kind of assemble itself when you do this, and you don't have to fight it as much. These just come in. Probably can't see this too well, but if you guys want like a more in-depth look at some Flush products, if I end up purchasing more in the future, I will definitely give some like tutorials or like, you know, troubleshoot with you guys. But this is my first time, so folding this in, 2 flaps that you just punch down and they lock in, and that is where your 3 candles go. They go in here. And then this flap, which is really what holds the whole thing together inside, is really cool. Humble Harvest. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can kind of adjust from the outside, but I try to get it as centered as possible with the label in the front. You just fold this down, and then these flaps fold down so that it kind of creates a little box around your middle one, and then this protects you over here. So when I put this candle in, when you put Cozy Season in, then there's like a divider that fills any gaps. And then there's just like 2 little slots on the side. I feel like this is like the trickiest part, is like getting this in, but once it's folded down, like that baby is secure in there. They're not clanking together, which was my concern. I'm using the Liquid Bottles 9-ounce straight-sided jars, but this is also designed for the Candle Science 9-ounce straight-sided jars. I think Birch Bottle, Fillmore has them. I will still use a wax seal because I don't want to take that away, being kind of like a signature Amber and Oak thing. But I'm just going to include it on the outside of the box or something. But these are great. You can like tie ribbon, make them more of a gift box. I plan on using them for the holidays if they go over well. Customers like this kind of format of getting a trio. You just have to be a little careful around the window area when you are making the folds so you don't rip that, but the cardboard itself is pretty sturdy and thick. I'm doing All Hallows Eve in the middle here. once you get into a groove with this, you can build them very quick. And I have to thank my friend Megan from Well-Read Candle Co. I know I shout her out in some videos, but she had used these before me, and I asked her about them, and she could not recommend them enough, and she showed me how to assemble them. So she kind of gave me a little bit of a head start on knowing how to build these. So I'm gonna make a couple more. I'm gonna stop, take a break, and eat some lunch. And then I will catch back up with you later. Well, when I was eating lunch, I got a delivery. Box truck came by and dropped off some shipping supplies that I ordered on Friday. I order my shipping supplies from a local packaging supply business, and they're awesome. I mean, it's been the best find. So if you are another fellow small business owner, I highly recommend checking out your local area and seeing if there is a packaging supply business nearby, because the prices are great for mine. I'm able to drive there and pick up if I want, and they have great delivery fees, because if you spend over $200, which I do for launches like fall and holiday season, then you get free delivery. So I always make sure I max that out, spend over 200, and then get a free delivery. I don't have to put any of this in my car. So this is like great, you know, if you have a small vehicle that can't fit giant bags of packing peanuts in. So that just came in, and I making a cup of tea because I'm kind of crashing right now, to be honest. I'm so tired, and I took a reel, like an Instagram reel video. My fiance just got on a work call, so I have to stop for a sec. Okay, back in the dungeon. My fiance just jumped on a work call. I thought he was done. He's not done. It's been a busy day for him, and we both can't talk upstairs. You won't be able to hear me, and I don't want to interrupt him. So I'm just gonna bring those boxes and peanuts downstairs now, and then I'll reconnect with you in a bit. You can watch me bring them down. Come help me. Come help me bring them down. I'm tired. Come on, let's go. This is where things get a little tight this time of year. Oh my goodness. I am like about to fall asleep. I'm crashing so hard. But I wanted to show you this haul, and you can see like what size boxes I get. So this is kind of like a top off haul. I do have, actually, I can see a good amount of 8x8x8 cubes, which is like 3 or 4 candles usually. So I didn't really need a whole lot of those. That's why I only got one bunch of it. And I think the minimum is like 25 per bundle. So I probably just got 25. Sometimes I get 25, sometimes I get 50, 75, 100, whatever, depending on what I'm low on. But I was specifically low on, I'm looking because they're underneath my table over there. I was specifically low on 6x6x6s, 6 cube boxes. That's my single candle shipping box. And I was getting low on the 7x7x7s, which I use a lot of 7 cubes because they're perfect for 2, sometimes 3 candles. So I got a couple of these. I think I got 75 of the 7 cubes. I may have a few in the closet over there, but I was honestly trying to get my total up to over 200 for the free delivery, and this will roll me into, you know, Halloween candles as well. So got some 7 cubes. I also got some 12x6x6 boxes, and this is to put those trio boxes inside of to ship. I didn't come downstairs and measure before I ordered, which I would always recommend. Like, I just looked at the measurements on the Flush website, which works, of the boxes, and then I estimated at least 1 inch on each side to cushion with packing peanuts. So hoping these work for that. This is for just like if someone orders 1 trio box, it will go inside this box, and then this is what it ships in. And then I also picked up some 12x8x6 boxes. This is the first time I got this size. And these are hopefully, like, again, do as I say, not as I do. I did not Usually I would put like 2 of the trio boxes next to each other or on top of each other, and then I would take my measuring tape out and measure how the height is, but I kind of just did the math based on the Flush Packaging website's dimensions of these boxes and then ordered from my bed when I placed this shipping supplies order. So I'm hoping these fit. This is in case someone orders the full collection in 2 trio boxes. So yeah, 2 of those boxes should fit in here. It kind of doesn't look like it will from here, but I think it's just wider than it looks. So hopefully it's good. If not, honestly, you can, you know, fit a couple candles in there and I'll just use a different size box to ship like 3 or 4 candles, whatever it fits. Oh, over here, I have a bunch of 6 cubes. These are the best. I ship my single candles, like I said, in the 6 cubes. And then I got some 5 cubes for the first time. Now 5 cubes would be a little too tight for me to ship a single candle in. I don't think it would fit, but it would be a little sketchy with like padding. But I was thinking, like if someone ordered a jack-o'-lantern, I can put this in this box, and then say if they had a really big order, they ordered like 8 candles, like single candles of the 9-ounce jars, and then they also ordered this. Usually I will wrap this, but the corrugate is kind of like funny. It looks like the shape is kind of weird around it. So I was wondering if like this could be an alternative, is to just like put it in a box inside of a box to protect it. I haven't had any issues with breakage, a knock on wood, but that was just like an idea. I actually think it stemmed more from trying to figure out how to ship these glass pumpkin jars from Candle Science. That's actually why I got these, not because of the jack-o'-lanterns. The jack-o'-lanterns were like an add-on, like, ooh, also I could probably use it to box those. But these are tricky because they have this lid that doesn't like lock on. It just sits on top. And I use some like masking tape, which doesn't look the prettiest, but I don't know. This is the first time I'm ever dropping these or releasing these. So I'm kind of trying to figure out the packaging of these pumpkin jars. I was thinking to put them in a box. I can tie twine around it, but I don't know. I'm just figuring it all out here. This will help protect it if it fits in there. Hopefully it does. So those are my 5 cubes. They're so cute. I wish I was just shipping in those for the single candles. Okay, so then we also have the 8 cube, just 25 of those, just to top off over there. And then here's another 12 by 8 by 6, because I figured why not? Could always use it for, you know, single candles as well as the trios if someone buys 2. And I also got the bags of packing peanuts that you saw. I get the biodegradable ones that dissolve in water. They're made of like cornstarch or something. They literally smell like cheese doodles. My mother puts them in her mouth as she like teases me, like pretends like she's gonna eat them, and then I scream at her. She's funny, but yeah, I got the packing peanuts, and I'm very happy about being able to get the peanuts from a local packaging supplier, because having them shipped by like WB Mason, I've had them shipped by a couple different companies in the past. The shipping costs almost the same amount or more than the bag itself of the peanuts, and that really adds up to your cost of goods. So if you can, like I said, look around for a local packaging supply place, because man, these guys are awesome, and I'm so thankful that they are somewhat nearby. They're not the closest, but they're somewhat nearby, and it's very convenient, very convenient for small business needs. So, all right, I'm gonna put these into their respective places. Some are going in the closet, some are going underneath the table and filling up my stock there, because I like to pull from it as I pack orders there. It's right underneath. I have my most used boxes under there, so I keep my 6 cubes, my 7 cubes, and my 8 cubes under there. I also buy 18 by 14, no, I buy 14 by 10 by 8, 18 by 14 by 8 sometimes, and larger boxes for wholesale orders, or like, you know, holiday time, some people are buying lots of gift boxes, so I'll have like some 18 by 18 by 18 boxes, like big cube boxes that I will purchase as well. I think those are like all the sizes that I use, as well as buying the corrugate rolls, which this place doesn't sell. They sell like too wide of a roll, like 12 inches or more. So I buy the corrugate rolls that are like 3 to 4 inches wide to fit perfectly around the width of my candles instead of bubble wrap. So those I order from a different supplier. Staples will have them sometimes as well. So if you go on Staples website, they usually will ship. They'll ship boxes too. So yeah, I'm gonna put these away. I think only one more is gonna fit here. Oh, that's a little sketchy. Tight squeeze back here these days. Kind of scared to see what this looks like in here. Uh-oh. It's a mess, but it's fine. Craft paper, which I have plenty of rolls of that left. Oh no, I don't have plenty of those rolls left. I needed to order more. I should have included that in my order. Shoot. Oh well, I can always go there and pick it up. So, I have 14 by 10 by 8s in here. I have another 12 by 6 by 6 from like Valentine's Day, I guess. Leftovers. I can use that for trio boxes. Sorry I can't really get you guys in here right now, but I'm gonna take this out and make some space because I do need to cut this up as I'm like out of breath, falling asleep. And this is like not what I want to do right now, but I feel like I need to do this in order to put all these cardboard boxes away. I need to put the wax in here. So buckle up, folks. This is gonna be funny. Oh! Ooh. Okay, wait. I have one more box, but I think I'm not gonna put it in here because I'm really gonna get it open and start using it this week. So might as well just leave it out. I'm gonna try to get as many over here as possible, but it's gonna be so annoying to dig through. I need to like get some kind of system going on in there. Shelves, I don't know. We'll just put that back in there for now, basically. All right, so I can grab those really easily. This is what the closet looks like now. It's all loaded up. Do have a little more space, which is good. Okay, I do need to wait for that to cool a little bit before I pour that oil in because I did heat it a little higher than I wanted to, but that's fine. It will be fine. Smells so good. I love Old Stone Cottage. It's like cinnamon and wood smoke, chai tea, a little bit of milk, but it's mostly like cinnamon, woodsy, smoky. Probably should have used the pancake batter dispenser for these, but I'm just working a bit quickly. So I'm just skipping that step for this batch. Kind of requires like an extra step because you have to like put it into another container. I don't know. I definitely like don't consistently pour a certain way. I'll go through phases where I will mostly pour from the pitcher, which I think is 90% of the time. You're pouring a bigger batch and you got like all these candle jars like right up next to each other. I feel like that's where like pouring from above in the pancake dispenser would be a lot easier. I don't know why I just don't do it sometimes. There's some fragrance oils that are like super potent in your face when you are making candles compared to when it's just burning in like a single candle. This one is just the right amount where I actually really enjoy having my space filled up with this scent. while I'm making, and it's not overpowering, because you know the pure form of it in the oil is definitely like way more intense than when it's burning in a candle. Obviously, you know that. It really smells like I am in an old stone cottage. I love it. Something else that I need to start to work on as well in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, is the SoyLight Society members' last candle for, oh, dropped it in every time. SoyLight Society members is my, this, oh my, maybe I should stop talking. The SoyLight Society is my quarterly candle subscription club. It's like a secret society for candle lovers, and I need to make their last candle of the year. It's going to be a fragrance blend that I am not going to reveal in case anybody from the SoyLight Society is watching, but it is going to be from Midwest Candle Co., which they are such a great supplier. I love Midwest. I love how personable and kind and sweet and supportive the owners are. At least Kenna from Midwest, she is so dang sweet. I just recently connected with her on Instagram, and I am very happy to be using one of their oils. I decided on this like many months ago in my upcoming SoyLight Society fall and winter candle. So yeah, all that to say, I was just looking at these jars and realizing I need to wick a lot more of these double wick jars for that soon. Next up, we're gonna work on the Sew and Grow candles. We have a little mini fragrance haul. This is more fragrance oils from Fragrance to You. I have mentioned them on my Instagram and also on my YouTube channel here with you guys, and done some sniff tests before, but I have some new oils for the fall and winter that I would love to share with you. The owner, Caroline, is so sweet. She sent these oils to me and just made sure that I knew that there was no obligation to post, and I just really appreciate that. But you know, I'm still gonna post and tell you guys about it because this is such a hidden gem to me. I haven't heard a ton personally about Fragrance to You in the candle community, but I am so happy to be speaking about them. I feel like these oils have such a luxurious, high-end profile to them, but they're at a very good price point for the aroma that they at least give off out of bottle. Now, I will be honest, I haven't had the time to play around and test them in wax yet, but I will be updating you guys on that when I do. Let's take a look at some of these new oils that Caroline from Fragrance to You sent me. Also, by the way, their sticker on their boxes for like the fragile sticker, it says fragile, wonderfully smelling liquids. I think that is just so cute. There's a lot of really unique personal touches to this brand. Their blotter strips are all labeled. So I'm gonna start off with the first one that I picked, and it's perfect for the season we're going into now, which would be fall. This is the Roasted Pumpkin Seeds oil. And there's a nice little chart that they give you. This is freshly roasted pepitas combined with golden salt, crushed cinnamon, browned butter, and roasted chestnuts, resting on a base of maplewood and ambered musk. Wow. That smells definitely like a little bit of like earthy and sweet mixed together with a bit of spice. Definitely a good amount of spice. It's very warming and it's like honeyed. Like that amber is giving you that like honeyed feel. I definitely smell in the top notes the maple sugar, definitely getting a lot of that maple, and the cinnamon is giving the spice, but the base notes have like butter and salted, no, not salted, sorry, soft amber musk and smoked wood. It does to me smell a little bit salted, I guess because of the butter. the buttery notes. This is like a nice bakery scent, a great mixer as well. This handwritten note over here says that all of these fragrances are geared towards fall and holiday, with the exception of this clementine and currant fragrance oil. So let's check this out. Maybe this is like a year-round one, or even like a fruity, fresh spring scent. Ooh, that is really pretty. That's definitely giving summery to me. It's got like berry, vanilla. I just smacked my lip with it. Berry and vanilla notes as well as the clementine. So it's sweet and citrusy, but it's also like soft and blended in that way. It's not like overpoweringly citrus. And that makes me think while it's burning too, it's not going to give off that fuel smell, I would hope or think, because of how it's blended and because of the quality that these oils are. So the top notes are clementine, mandarin, mid notes of orange and red currant, and base notes of citrus, vanilla, and cane sugar. It smells so good. I feel like there's hints of like some type of floral, like a orange blossom feel. Okay, I need to wipe my lip off now. So next up we have the banana flower and honeycomb. This one has top notes of banana leaf, mid notes of passion flower, osmanthus, gardenia, floral, honey, and cashmere musk. So you're getting some kind of like floral, honey, banana leaf blend here. Kind of gives like a tropical feel to me. Before sniffing it, I'm thinking like a little bit of like a tropical floral maybe. That banana leaf. Wow, that is pretty. That is, I mean, that does not make me think of, actually maybe the honey notes would make me think fall. This would be a very unique blend for that. But for some reason, this is giving more summer feels for me than fall or holiday. It is incredible. I mean, that is the best banana smell that I have smelled in a fragrance oil. Sometimes the banana smells can smell like Laffy Taffy or like Runts or like those candies, like that really artificial scent, but this is like very realistic and like green and leafy at the same time. Then we have poached pear. This is definitely giving the holidays. I can only imagine. It's probably gonna be very sweet. It says pear citrus. Ooh, okay. And vanilla cognac. Oh my gosh, that is super delicious, but it's balanced. Sometimes out of bottle, these pear scents whack me in the face. Like they are just so overpoweringly sweet that it's like sickly sweet out of bottle. But I know that once they're in wax, they will warm up and blend better. But this one, even out of bottle, I can just tell that there's enough of like the vanilla and the spice to ground it. So the notes are top notes of pear and citrus, mid notes of pear, fig, and white wine, and base notes of cognac, vanilla, spice, and some nutty notes in there. Perfect for the holidays. Oh my gosh, this is like definitely my favorite pear fragrance oil I've ever smelled. I've never personally used a pear fragrance oil in any of my candle lines because it's like sickly sweet to me, but this one is just definitely like the best I've smelled so far out of bottle. Next up is my personal favorite so far. I have already smelled it when it came in the mail because I was like, what? I've never heard of like a grapevine fragrance oil that is like kind of giving the true to life vibe of a grapevine. At least that's what I think. It's called Wild Vine and Muscadine. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is the muscadine grape top notes, and then mid notes of citrus and green vine, and base notes of ivy, moss, and wood. That will always grab my attention and my heart when you have any kind of like mossy notes or woody notes in a fragrance oil. I gravitate towards those always. So this one just blows me away because it smells so realistically like grapes on a vine, but you have those earthy notes blended in as well. It says a vivid burst of muscadine grape and bright lemon zest cuts through the greenery of twisted vine and sun-dappled ivy, grounded in an earthy base of soft vineyard moss. I feel like you could make this into a body care product. I mean, it smells so good. You want to do like a winery themed candle or soap, this is amazing. It definitely is giving very high end. Like, this needs a really pretty vessel in a candle. I'm thinking like not just your standard candle vessel. It would be a stunning centerpiece, I think, if it was like put into a double wick larger candle. Love it. And then last but not least, we have Driftwood and Dew, which also to me not giving, I keep getting it all over my face, not giving holidays and fall, but I am happy to experiment with this one. This one is bergamot, coastal cedar, and peppercorn. And maybe Driftwood and Dew is actually fall somewhere up, like on the West Coast or something, or down south on the West Coast. But here we're gonna have leaves falling and it's gonna get chilly. So we're thinking about all like those scents and like the warm, I guess, like leafy notes and the pumpkins and the apples here on the East Coast and then in the Northeast. But this, ooh, that smells really good. Let's dip the blotter strip in. This says watery ozones splash over pink peppercorns and shining bergamot complemented by dewy herbs, weathered cedarwood, verdant vetiver, and grounding tonka. I love every single note in this blend. The top notes are fresh, ozone, citrus, pink pepper. Mid notes are herbal, citrus, spice, cedarwood, and base notes are amber, vetiver, musk, tonka bean. There's natural oils of vetiver, cedarwood, nutmeg, and something else that I can't pronounce. It smells so woody, kind of masculine, and a little bit of like that ocean mineral note in there as well, but more of like in a green way. It reminds me a little bit of Lakeside Summer from Flaming Candle, but like elevated. It smells really good. That like pepper, the pink peppercorns really give it a little bit of that cologne-y feel. It's like invigorating with like the fresh top ozonic notes, but then it's also grounded and musky and woody at the base. This is a really nice herbal, fresh, kind of coastal blend. I would love to experiment with this for next summer. So yeah, those are all the oils that I was sent from Fragrance to You. Thank you again, Caroline from Fragrance to You, for sending me all your oils. They smell amazing and I can't wait to play around with them. I will leave the link to Fragrance to You's website down below in the description box if you are curious about them, because they are definitely something that is worth checking out. I absolutely have had so much fun sniffing some of these really unique blends of oils. That about wraps it up for today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate your support, commenting, liking the video, subscribing. I see all of the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can, and it really makes me so happy that you enjoy these longer vlogs. So thank you for the feedback, and I hope to see you in another video very soon.